Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. All right. Today, I'm going to talk about unintended consequences from policy and politicians. So, last week I read this article about the demand for trees, lumber, timber actually, being in high demand due to electric cars. Not just electric cars, but electric grids. Took me a minute, but then as I read the article, of course, it made sense. So, as you know, the current administration, both nationally as well as here in the state, has a really strong push on increasing electric cars and electric appliances, right? So, moving from gas stoves to electric. And in my mind, I've thought, you know what? That's great. Politicians want to do that. Oil's not going anywhere, and we've talked about that too. The demand for oil is still there. Prices are still relatively high and could easily go much higher. I wasn't really worried about oil. Meanwhile, I thought, you know what? Copper, that will be in high demand because of electricity. So it takes a lot of copper to build electric cars. It takes a lot of copper to move from a gas stove to an electric stove, right? Then you've got the wired transmission system. A lot of copper. And we're not producing copper at the rate we need to based on our current consumptions as it is. So that all made sense, and I've thought, all right, we've got a good plan going here. When it came to the timber, though, I admit I was a little stumped. But here's the deal. With all the electrification, they need power lines, right? Well, how do you string power lines? Through telephone poles or electric poles, whatever they're called. So the grid demands, there's power plant issues, transmission issues, but the actual poles that you have to put the wire on is we need more of them at a greater rate. And there's a specific type of tree that is harvested for this. They're based out of Georgia, and they're two different types of pines without a lot of knots. So, I found it humorous. It's one of those things where politicians make a decision, they think it's going to help, and so in this case, electricity is supposed to be net carbon neutral, right? So you're not burning oil, which is a dirty fossil fuel, creating carbon emissions. Instead, you've got some kind of power generator, whether it's solar or wind energy. That's not as efficient, but then it doesn't produce the carbon output. However, you need trees to transmit all of the electricity, and trees consume carbon. They're good for the environment, and we've got to cut down more of them. So, it's just one of those things that I'm always skeptical when policy analysts come out with a brilliant new idea, and this is one of those examples. Anyway, yes, in case you're wondering, lumber, timber is one of our favorite commodities, and our clients do hold those in our commodity ETFs. So as the demand for electricity goes up, so will the trees, and so will your portfolios. All right. Well, on that kind of humorous note, I'll leave you with that, and you guys have a great week. We'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.